maps how were used in olden days and how today we are using the maps. Here in 1802 common era, which 1802 common era, William Longbutton, who started doing survey of the world from Chennai. Chennai is at Tamil Nadu. It is in Tamil Nadu, which is near to the sea level. So all the places height is measured from the sea level. So as Chennai is near to the sea level, here William Longbutton wanted to measure the height and the length of the longitudes and also heights of various places. This survey started by William Longbutton, but it is completed by Sir George Everest. Who completed? Sir George Everest. So his name is given to the highest peak in the world. So what is the highest peak in the world? Mount Everest. And such a highest peak got the name Everest from the name of the George Everest, who completed the survey started by William Longbutton in 1802 common era. Okay, and he measured the height for the first time using which one? Using a scientific method. It is a scientific method. What is a scientific method here? It is measuring the height of the places and the length of the longitude from the sea level. So the place he taken for his measurement is Chennai. The survey began in Chennai. Where it is? It began in Chennai. Understand? There, what to call? He started measuring the heights of the places from the sea level. Okay, because height of all the places are measured from the sea level. Now, why should we measure heights of all the places from sea level? Because sea level is at equal height throughout the world. Water level is at equal height, that is sea level. Understand? So every place height is measured from the sea level. Understand? So they used maps at that time for what to call waging war. Which one? Waging war. See, maps were used at that time for attacking on other countries, because when they wanted to attack on one nation, they need to have information about that place, right? So at the times of war, they wanted to take their armies and air forces there. So in that way, maps received a great importance during the world wars. 1914 to 1918. It is the time duration of World War I. Okay, World War I occurred from 1914 to 1918, and Second World War 1939 to 1945. It is the second World War. So during this World War time, many of the nations wanted their army, their air forces should reach to the fighting field, that is battlefield. So they should have an information regarding the place, how they can reach the war field easy, how they can success on other nations in the war. So maps have earned very great importance in that period during the World War One and World War Two period. Understand? So today, many of the governments, today the maps used in different way. Okay, many governments tried to keep these detailed maps secret, because if maps are revealed, what would happen then? The secret of the place will become easy for other nations to attack. So many governments tried to keep their maps secret so that their enemies could not use them. Okay, that was the use of maps in those days. Okay, when it comes to present time, in our time, okay, their technology and science has developed very much, right? The use of satellite imagery, today we have satellites launched in the space, sent to the space, right? So these satellites are giving images of the various places. So today, this use of satellite images transformed the nature of mapping. Okay, we not only have very accurate and detailed maps. Okay, today we have what accurate and detailed maps by with the help of satellites, and it is not possible for the governments to keep those maps secret. How in early days maps were kept secret by many governments. Today it is not possible. Okay, today the information of the maps available for all the people for their study, for their what study, and how they use today. Let's compare how maps used in those days with the present usage of maps instead. See, just now we have seen maps were used what to call for the trade purpose at that time. Okay, see, maps were made and used for variety of purposes. There are several purposes are there for using the map. Okay, see, somebody uses map for doing trade. They want to do trade with other nations. For example, European nations wanted to do trade with India, then they should have the information about India and how to reach India, that is available in the map. And somebody want to conquest in the sense occupy, okay, occupy some part of the world. So for that they need to have a map showing the what world, how it is, right? Somebody want to colonize, we know that India colonized by Britishers have set up very large colony in the world. That means they set up vast, very large empire in the world. Understand? So today many of the countries are moving with the freedom have come from the British colonization. So to wage war, to fight in the war with other nations, maps are useful. So for the purpose of trade and for going on oceans, that is sailing, and for conquest and for colonization and fighting wars with other nations. For these purposes, maps were used in those days. Understand? And how maps are used today? Okay, in our times, maps are used extensively, means very much. Okay, for variety of purposes, today we are using the maps. Understand? See, for planning and development of the countries, we need to go through the map. Suppose we want to develop our nation, then we should have a map showing our India. Understand? Because where we have to set up industries, where we have to construct dams, where are fertile soils, where is the place suitable for people settlements, right? Where are deserts, where are deserts, where are mountains. These all the information is required for developing a nation. So this all information we get through the maps. So maps in our days at present used for many purposes. First is planning and development of the country. Okay, when we want to develop the nation, development of nation lies in its resources, right? We should know where are resources available in the nation, where are iron mines, where are coal mines, where are gold mines. This is very important. There we have to establish what to call a mining industry. So this information comes from the map, right? When we want to establish industries and what problems will be in that place, all these will be come to known with the help of maps. Let us understand how maps are used with one example. Okay, with what? One example. Okay, here look at that what to call, for this is for example, when we want to make a map, sorry, when what to call, we want to know that where water is available. Okay, we can make a map of a region where drinking water is available and where it is not available. See, does all the places of a nation gets drinking water? No. In some places we find abundant, very much drinking water. Okay. In some places we do not find drinking water. Understand? Then how do we arrange water to a place where there is a shortage of water? That means we should know where water is available, okay, and where it is not available, so that we can go for what, constructing the canals or not. So water resources, what are the resources of water here? It is rainfall, right? Does all the places gets equal rainfall? No, right? Does all the places have groundwater? No, right? In some places we find rivers, in some places we find groundwater is available, in some other places we do not find groundwater is available, not available. Okay, in some places there is no rainfall, Thar desert is there. Okay, in India, Thar desert at Rajasthan, there is scanty water. That means there is shortage of water. So that this all information we get from the word map. Understand? So maps are used for variety of purposes. Understand? Based on the map, we can decide what is the best way of providing water to those who do not get water. Understand? Right? So maps are used for different purposes. Instead, let's see that how do we use maps. Instead, here when water is available at a particular place, uh, and in some other place the water is not available, then what we construct canals, right, from the place where water is available to the place where water is not there. Understand or not? Suppose we will find the places where rainfall is heavy, then their tanks are constructed. Tanks in the sense చెరువులు. What is it? Tanks in the sense what? చెరువులు. Okay. Then bringing water from the place where it is there and filling in that tanks, okay, by using the pipes. Today you know that our Telangana state is well known to the world with the construction of Kaleshwaram project, right, the world's largest lift irrigation project, water lift irrigation project. Kaleshwaram is the world's largest water irrigation project. Nearly 600 feet, 600 meters height water is taken. Okay, from Kaleshwaram, that is what you call the river Godavari water we are getting. So for this, what they have used maps. Maps tells where are rivers, where is water, understand, and where is the where is the place near to the sea level, where is the place above the sea level. Okay, so that the maps helps in many ways. Instead, so we can plan agriculture development with the help of map, right, where the soil is good. So what kind of maps we use? Maps showing what is that? Maps showing a soil type. Which one? Soil type. Instead, that means maps of soils. Maps of soils. What does it says? What does it shows? It shows how are soils, whether fertile one or infertile one, right? Or whether we have alluvium soils or red soils, black soils, so that we can plan what kind of crops we can cultivate in such a particular soils. So maps useful for agriculture development and planning to set up new industries. Okay, for example, here is I'm drawing, look at here, this is the place where minerals are available. What minerals, for example. Okay, and this is the industry where we are, this is the place, sorry, this is a place where we are getting a iron. Okay, then what would happen if industry is set up here? Is it useful? It becomes very difficult for this iron industry to get iron from this place where iron is available. So when they want to set up industries, then what they have to know? Where iron is available, there they have to set up iron industries, right? If you look at our atlas, there you will find several maps. Many of the iron plants, Okay, iron industries we find at Chota Nagpur Plateau, Tata Iron and Steel Company, Durgapur Steel Plant, Bokaro Steel Plant, Bhilai Steel Plant. All these are at Chota Nagpur Plateau. Understand? Their iron is available. So for the industrial development, we want to know the place suitable and safe for industries. So from where do we get that information? It is from maps. And when we want to build the roads and construct hospitals and the schools, for all these things we use what? Maps. So maps are used for variety of purposes. So this is different today. The usage of map is different today with the past. Understand or not? Here, let us see that how companies will plan for making their companies to be established, right? You know that the companies plan to set up their branches in the different parts. Let's take a mobile telephone company, okay, that is Apple phone or maybe Nokia or maybe Samsung, whatever the mobile you take, or automobile company you take. It may be what automobile company making the cars, that may be Volkswagen or Chevrolet or maybe Tata Motors or maybe Ford Motors, right? All these companies want to set up their plants at different parts of the world. Understand? Plants in the sense where cars are produced. Okay. Then they will search for the places which are near to the markets. Where? Markets. Understand? Because the plants must be near to the market. The cost of producing the cars will become easy. Okay, this information we'll study in the further classes. Just to keep in mind that when companies want to set up their branches in the different part of the world, they should know the places where are the places suitable for setting up their what to call branches instead. So they need the maps of showing villages instead. Which one? The maps showing villages, towns, hills and forests instead for their microwave towers instead. Suppose here Geo Reliance company is there, Reliance mobile network is there. They wanted to establish their branches, they wanted to expand their network in other part of the world, right? So where they have to establish their towers? In the forest area or in the towns or in the villages, right? Because there should not be disturbance to the signal. So where are people living? In towns and villages. So they should see that the establishment of their tower should be in a place from there maximum people should get a better signal, right? Today you know that for getting online classes you need a better signal. Some villages are far from the network. Why? The tower established at a place is not able to provide better signal for all. Then the company should search for a place where it can provide better signal for maximum people. So for that it is need a map. Understand? So maps are used for different purposes.